Alon, Wasalan, you're with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another enlightened moment, another chapter read, you know what I mean, from Stolen Legacy, look, I can't say it enough, you know what I mean, I got the author, you know what I mean, George G.M. James, you did wonderful, you got what I'm saying, even with the added material, you got what I'm saying, the added literature, you did wonderful because the 10 Fetters wasn't in there, wasn't in the first Stolen Legacy book I read. This is more deeper. This is more how to say this. When you look at the laws, when you look at the structure of religion, you get this from our culture. You feel what I'm saying? You get this from our culture. Our culture. You feel what I'm saying? Our culture. And we'll be little. Come on, we'll be little. We're supposed to sit here and not reap the benefits of our culture. I don't care what continent you're on. We are not supposed to reap the benefits of our culture. Come on, man. Get up out here. Get on up out here. It's a new day. It's a new morning. It's a new journey. It's a new speaker. It's a new motivator giving this to you. So I say this to you once again, you know what I mean? You're with the Nasty Pastor. I'm back with another enlightened moment of Stolen Legacy. There are 9 major planets and the sun is the parent of the other planets. This latter being supported by the nebular hypotheses. Now, do you know what a hypothesis is? If you don't, this is what I'm going to do for you. Come on now. You know how to spell it. Alright, a supposition or proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation. You get what I'm saying? That's what a hypothesis is. That's the same thing almost as a theory. You got what I'm saying? Both of them almost coincide with each other. You got what I'm saying? You have little evidence, but if you can connect the dots, you can really see the big picture of what you're explaining. Let us remember also that the worship of the planets began in Egypt, and the Egyptian temples were the first observatories of history. In attempting to prove the existence of God or a first cause by reference to actuality and potentiality, Aristotle simply followed the traditional custom of the ancients, who used the principle of opposites in order to explain the functions of nature. Come on now. Do y'all know what they talking about? The opposites? Opposites attract. You feel me? Opposites attract. Plato used it through the theory of ideas to explain the real and unreal in the phenomena of nature. Socrates used it in order to establish the fact of immorality by showing that the death of one form of life of existing things is but the beginning of another form of life of these things. Do you get that? You get that? You get it? See, I refer to that and I look at that as a saying of there's something inside of you have to die for you to live. You feel me? There's something in you. If you're a person through a lot of turmoil, through a lot of struggle, through a lot of BS, if that's the word that can catch you, you feel what I'm saying? If that's the word that can catch you, there's something in you that has to die in order for you to live. You feel me? And it's metaphoric. You feel what I'm saying? It's metaphoric, but you know, when I look at the conversation this elderly man had with me in prison, you know what I mean? He told me, changed my attitude. So that way of life that I looked at, that way of life I was living, I had to kill that. You feel what I'm saying? To kill that, dig up the things that my great grandma showed me, taught me, my mama showed me, taught me, my aunts, and that's what for S, showed me, taught me, my uncles showed me, taught me, and what my surrounding environment showed me and taught me. All right, now where we at? In other words, life is perpetual. It only changes its form in its course of progress. You get it? It only changes its course in the form of progress. It only changes its form in its course of progress. You got what I'm saying? Of progress. Democritus applied the principle of opposites in their interpretation of a particular phase of reality. We cannot therefore consider Aristotle's use of the terms actuality and potentiality in the problem of the existence of God as a new method of interpretation. Furthermore, Aristotle's review of the doctrines of all previous philosophers, including Plato, together with his exposure of their errors and inconsistencies, showed that he had become confident not only of the fact that he was in possession of a new and correct knowledge, one that had not before been made available to the Greeks, but also that he could then speak with great authority. Right here, I must say that I am convinced that Aristotle represents a culture gap of 5,000 years or more between his innovation and the Greek level of civilization, because it is impossible to escape the conviction that he obtained his education and books from a nation outside of Greece. The Egyptians, who were far in advance of the culture of Greeks of his day. Now we know this has been translated through Greek. You feel what I'm saying? Remember, look, I don't have to say too much. If you are that eye, you are that ear, you are that soul that has been with me since day one, what I say? What I say, you know what I mean? When you read the back of this, it says stolen legacy. The Greeks were not the authors of Greek philosophy, but the people of North Africa commonly called the Egyptians. So what they tell you? Come on now, what they tell you? Now, this is translated in English. You feel what I'm saying? But the Greeks, remember Alexander the Great went in and conquered Kemet. So things had to be translated, right? It was translated into Greek and from Greek into English. You feel me? Let's get into 3, the doctrine of the origin of the world. According to the doctrine that has been ascribed to Aristotle, because matter, motion, and time are eternal. Come on, matter, motion, and time are eternal. Therefore, the world is also eternal. You get it? Eternal. Forever. He plainly accepts and repeats a doctrine. He plainly accepts and repeats a doctrine which has also been ascribed to Democritus, whose dictum we are all quite familiar with. Ex nihilo nihil fit. Nothing comes out of nothing. Nothing comes out of nothing. You got what of that? If you got 0 and you add a 0 to it, you get nothing, right? Nothing, right? You get nothing at all, right? Okay. And consequently, matter or the world must always have existed. But the antiquity of the doctrine of the eternal nature of matter takes us back to the creation story of the Memphite theology of the Egyptians, in which chaos is represented by the primeval ocean Nun, out of which there arose the primeval hill Toptigenin. Under these circumstances, we cannot give Aristotle credit for the authorship of this doctrine. In addition to the false authorship that has been attributed to Aristotle, he contradicts himself in his physics when he also speaks of the world as cause A thing cannot be eternal and infinite and at the same time finite. Now I say this to you, if you've been catching up with what the main name? What that light skinned man name? Terrence Howard. If you've been catching up with Terrence Howard, you know what I mean, there's something that I spoke of in this reading that we're doing right now that Terrence Howard explained about the multiplication table. 0, 1, 0 and 1 should not even be in. It'd be in there. You feel what? It should not be there. Because really, 0 should not be there, not 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. No. Yeah, 0 and 1 should not be in there, because if you're multiplying, that means you're really in a evulated, would that be it? You know what I mean? Put it this way. When you're multiplying, you're really dealing in quantity. You feel what I'm saying? So when I said elevated math system, when you look at a palette of product, you know what I mean? You usually use multiplication for that. Addition takes too long. You know what I mean? If I could see the bottom and I could see the top and I could see around, okay, we got 4 layers. We have to each layer 4 items. 4 times 4 is 16. You got 4 layers, but on each layer you have 4 items. Got me? So let's go and get into this. Where we at? Okay, let's get into number 4, the doctrine of the attributes of nature. Aristotle defines nature as that which possesses the principle of motion and the rest, and also adds that the motion is an effort to move from the less perfect to the more perfect by a definite law. Supposedly what we would today call evolution. Come on, I know y'all know it. Come on now, I know y'all know it. You have to, evolve. We as gods and goddesses, we evolve in life. You feel what I'm saying? It's a sad person to still be at the same place of life you was at when you was 20 and now you're 50. Even if you don't have no material possessions, there are things about your subconscious. There are things about your spirituality that you should have elevated in. As we examine this definition, we find that Aristotle has only applied the principle of opposites to explain one of the modes by which nature has revealed herself, just as he has done in his attempt to explain being in the dual terms of actuality and potentiality. But change the motion, permanence, and rest were by no means new problems at the time of Aristotle, since they appear to have been investigated not only by Parmenides, Zeno, and Melissus, but also by Democritus, who stressed the notion of permanence in his famous dictum, ex nihilo nihil fit, out of nothing, nothing comes, implying thereby that nature is permanent and eternal. What we're going to do is cut this off right here. Hold up. Yeah, we're going to cut this off right here. Resume this in another reading. And I just say this to you, cut that off and resume another reading. I just want to say this to you, again, you know what I mean? Elevate yourself. Always try to get yourself in tune with the demiurge with whom you pray to. That's where your elevation starts. That's where your spirituality start becoming concrete within your soul. And like I said, it's a struggle for me to pray sometimes. You get what I'm saying? It's a struggle. And I don't always want to pray for materialistic things. You feel what I'm saying? I need strength. You feel what I'm saying? I need strength in my faith. I need strength in my beliefs. I need strength in my health. You feel what I'm saying? Those are the things that I pray for. Those are the things that not only when I'm praying for myself, I'm praying for you to always have good health. You get what I'm saying? Good health. Anyway, there's been another chapter read from Stolen Legacy. You have been with the Nasty Pastor. I'm out, and you know I love you. You know I love you.